Morning, good morning. Colonel McDoodle. We're back to the early stages, earlier just on the internet. No, we're not. I'm not that old. My dad is. My dad's that old. Hi, Nova. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Oh gosh, Nova, you've been coming to every stream I've had this week, and I really appreciate you. I'm feeling less good this morning. I didn't wake up feeling great. We're probably gonna keep this stream relatively short, so like an hour. But that's okay. That's okay. I get to have a little bit of tea today. I get to have some caffeine. Just happens to be perfect timing. Normally I wake up at 10:30, but my body's been waking up around 9. Oh well, if it works out. If it works out that way. I've been I wake up at 6 a.m. right now, and then I try to go back to sleep for at least an hour. But my body's been just naturally waking me up at 6 a.m. since we started moving. Which by tomorrow we officially moved to the new house 2 weeks ago. Still working on everything. It takes forever to fully move into a house, even when you're working on it every day. But especially if the house wasn't empty to begin with, and you got to move all the stuff, and you got to clean stuff, and I got stuff to do. I'm not going to question it because on the weekend I work at 8 and 9 a.m. So if my body can slowly start getting used to waking up early, that's helpful. That is very fair. If only you could go to bed at a reasonable time. I mean, at some point you just get tired. I mean, maybe that's me talking because I've been fighting with fatigue in the last week and stuff anyway, so it's really easy for me to sleep. But I've been passing out by 10, 11 p.m. So, which I didn't used to. Prior to this, a lot of my friends are night owls. So I would probably normally be up and doing things at midnight or 1 a.m. previous to this. But I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. I'm doing my best, but I mean my caffeine era at least every other day because I actually can't drink caffeine super regularly because it causes inflammation. But I got tea today. I got iced tea. It is a little cooler out today, but not by a lot. It rained some more. That's nice. Mostly a night owl, but I'm finding it easier to take midday naps. Yes, okay. Midday naps are nice, though. Able to do before, but you know what? As long as it doesn't cause any immediate health problems that are threatening, I'm just gonna roll with it. I was gonna say, I don't think there's anything that I know that can come up from taking naps. You should be fine. Yeah, I'm gonna point this at my feet again. I have a little fan. Make sure I stay cool. Here we go. Well, not just naps, but the wacky sleep schedule. That's fair. Yeah, yeah. Naps are good. I wish, especially when I was working factory, I really could have used a midday nap while doing factory. I feel like that would have helped me a lot. At some point in the day, like, the timing on it now is, oh, there's cauliflower on my floor. I did that. Come here, cauliflower. Cooked cauliflower. Anyway. Um, the timing now, the people in that factory now work 10-hour shifts instead of 9-hour shifts like when I was working there. But it's from 6:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. When I was working. And a nap around 1 or 2 o'clock, even just a half-hour nap, that would that would have helped a lot. They'd have to make places for everybody to lay down though. I just think about like preschool and stuff where they have you take naps, and I'm like, I know we think just toddlers need that, but I think we as adults also need that sometimes. Oh man, I just yeah. I've been getting into the Beetlejuice musical songs now, really catchy. I find it very funny that you're mentioning Beetlejuice because yesterday, not this morning, but yesterday morning, I had um an extensive dream with a version of Beetlejuice that we have the three versions now because we've got the original show, I mean the original movies Beetlejuice, we have the animated cartoon Beetlejuice, which is very different, and then we have the musical Beetlejuice, which is also pretty different, and then my brain made up of a fourth Beetlejuice that I was interacting with, and I've gone back into my Beetlejuice era, but in the other way, in the anyway. Yeah, no, the musical's good. My mom is the queen of doing that. She really had it down to a T and still technically does. Very nice. Very nice. A little bit late to the party with the Beetlejuice musical in some ways, but you know what? You know what? Good for you. I think they might still be doing runs of it. It might not be the original cast anymore, though. Well, obviously, Anna Sophia Lee, I think that was her name. She hasn't been part of the like she's the original recording voice for Lydia, but she hasn't been in the run for a while. She started doing movies and things and playing the whole being dead thing in my ears. It's so good. Yeah, it is good. Part one and part two. Yep. Now, if you like musicals and you haven't gotten into Epic the musical yet, you should probably do that too. It's not a stage play yet. It's purely an internet phenomenon at the moment. Epic! Yes, exactly. Positively wonderful, that one. You want to talk about, like, music's really good in that one. I do like how they made the Beetlejuice musical a lot because there was a lot of things they had to consider in order to make it into a stage play. And, like, it's really a lot. The musical itself is really a lot more about Lydia's arc than it is about Beetlejuice. But I really like the sort of fourth wall breaking, Deadpool humor esque stuff they got going on with Beetlejuice. It works really well, especially when interacting with an audience. um, the original vocalist for Beetlejuice was also really good at it. Just he's really good at improv. Very funny. I don't remember his name right now, but still. It is hilarious and I love it. I haven't seen the full musical, but I've seen like clips and bits and stuff. Me too. I don't have money to go see a musical. That's just like shit. I don't have money for that kind of stuff. No, no. ADHD does not allow me to sit down and watch things that are very long unless I'm doing. Alex Brightman. Yes, that's their name. Thank you, Pix. Hello, Pix. Love you, Pix. Um, unless I'm doing 18 billion other things in the background. Yeah. Well, there aren't any like official recordings of Beetlejuice anyhow. Um, I feel like if you went to the stage, like went to the play itself, you could like the stage. Anyway, you could always bring like quiet fidget toys or something, and that might help. Not like anybody's gonna be looking at you. Beetlejuice the musical is my partner's entire personality. That's cute. Cute. Oh gosh. Understandable. Have a good day. and Epic. Yeah, like there's a lot of overlap, because, well, they're both very modernly done musicals. They are very much like more tuned towards a younger crowd than a lot of musicals that get made are. Um, like, okay, so I don't know how many people know this. When the original like Beetlejuice run started, they were actually having trouble getting traction. And what really started kicking it off, not only did they lower the ticket prices originally for the Broadway, which made it more accessible, the understudy for Lydia started posting funny TikToks with the rest of the cast and crew in the back. And that really started pulling in a much like younger crowd, and that's actually really what hit things off for them, especially because COVID, because they were trying to get up and going during like when COVID kind of started. Anyway, there's actually I don't know if I can find it, but there's a good video on YouTube about how Beetlejuice got its start and like all of the cast and crew, like just how things got came together. I like watching videos like that, especially because like a lot of musicals actually have really interesting history. Uh yeah. And the solutions because of Epic ever comes to stage, I'm absolutely going. Yes. Yes. 1000% me too. I did see that Alex got a concussion and he is the voice of Fizzaroli in Helliva using his Beetlejuice voice. That's nice. I don't I don't go there, but that's nice. He's a good actor. Like he's just good at what he does. Apparently, he was also in The Nightmare Before Christmas. Who were you in The Nightmare Before the TV program? Nightmare Before Christmas in July. So you were in the TV program. That's funny. do, 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 do. A few things. I'm looking at his movies and shows stuff right now. A lot of stuff I ain't seen. He's in the Blacklist. He's also in Dead End Paranormal Park. Yeah, he did stuff. Remember, he got a concussion using a lift when doing the musical, and after all that happened, it was way funnier. And saw a video of the audience reaction to Alex's return. Ah, yeah. I I didn't know any of that. I don't know. There's not much more I could say. Um, Although since I was watching more Beetlejuice stuff recently because of the dream that I had, um, I'll probably start getting more Beetlejuice things in my YouTube feed. That's just how that works, you know? That's just how that works. Mostly I was watching all of the old animatics that I've watched before. Um, so no surprise, the almighty algorithm. And no surprise, particularly that one of the people artists, one of the artists that I like some of the old animatics of, has since done a fuck ton of Epic the Musical animatics. Actually, quite a lot of them. It's actually quite impressive because like it's a lot of the songs from Epic, and I was like, "Are you trying to do the whole thing? That's a lot. That's a lot of work." But no surprise there. There again, there's that overlap, big time overlap, especially because of the way Jorge interacts with everybody, like Mr. Jalapeno. Um, it is such an like very interactive, sort of parasocial, like very strongly parasocial fandom. Um, it's a very active fandom. I haven't seen any really like terribly, especially for such a large fandom. I haven't seen anybody be like. There hasn't been a lot of really bad apples like I'm used to seeing with some fandoms, because the larger the fandom is, the more bad apples you tend to get, like Homestuck. um, but so far, I haven't really seen any, like, there's no discourse particularly or anything like that. We're just happy over here in the Epic the Musical fandom. At least, not that I've seen, you know? Maybe there is, and I've just been blissfully unaware. Who knows? Could happen. You know what I wish had a little bit more of an active fandom on the internet? A little bit more? The Stormlight Archives from Brandon Sanderson. There's a little bit going on, but I want so much more content for like side characters than there is. Like for the Lopin, I want I love the Lopin so freaking much. And there's not enough fan art. Yeah, that's a whole tangent though. I am a huge Brandon Sanderson fan. For those who are unfamiliar with his works, Zero Days is Brandon Sanderson. Oh, you're calling me out, Pix. You're calling me out. Uh, listen, it's a good book series. Good book series. Brandon Sanderson like has to be one of the best current like writers of fiction, like of the era. I mean, of course, he's been writing since like, gosh, when was the first book even published? Hold on, he's been writing for a while, so not like crazy long. I want to say the 1980s. Brandon Sanderson, first book published. Let me see. I could be wrong. He's so many books. So uh, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, he could have started writing really early, but it looks like his first published book was 2000, 2005, maybe? Anyway, he's great. He's great. Although it's actually quite interesting knowing a couple things about him, because at certain points in his books, the disillusioned Mormon really comes out. Um, and as somebody who was raised Catholic and is not Catholic, I connect to that very heavily. Who would have guessed the most favorite author in queer circles of this generation would be a boy? I was gonna say, right? Right? Yeah, you Mormon. But he does really well, and he puts in so much effort, and he has a really good team. Like the effort that he shows into like to wanting to write certain subjects well really comes across. Like we we're on Rhythm of War now, which is like the I want to say the fourth book in the Stormlight Archive series, but there's an intermediate book before the Rhythm of War called the Dawn Shard, and the darn, my accent's coming out. Don't mind me. The Dawn Shard is about my girl. Um, hold on, name's hard. Ew, it's about my girl, my girl. It's about Risen. It's about Risen. And Risen is Risen's disabled. She doesn't have use of her legs. No legs. She don't got legs. Um, and you can really tell how much work he put into sensitivity reading and like getting people's input and like all of these different things. And it's really nice. I love Risen. I love Risen so much. Like she's a different kind of disabled than I am, but like I still really connect to her on a lot of levels. She's just great. And like he even very purposely puts neurodivergent characters in his books. There are characters that are canonically neurodivergent. Oh my gosh. Renarin, he's one of our boys. He's Dalinar's son, Dalinar Kholin, Renarin Kholin. He is canonically autistic, and we love him. We love him so much. He's our good boy. He's so sweet. I love him. Oh my gosh. And gosh, I don't remember her name right now. She's a much more side character. She's definitely like canonically supposed to have ADHD, like unmedicated, like no coping mechanism, like well, some coping mechanisms, but not a lot. And it just and then the character development of all these characters. I love Dalinar Kholin so much, and he has committed war crimes, which is crazy. I'm just like this man. This man's done some shit, but he's just such a fuck up. But he's doing his best now, and oh god, his book was the third book, which is Oathbringer, and it was so good. I cried. I could gush about this for ages. Anyway, anyway, my boy Kaladin. I love Kaladin. So Kaladin is like the first main character you get introduced to. He's like his book is the first book, I think. Yes, his book is the first book, and he's been through so much, and he's so good, and we love him so much. He's done so much. But he really encapsulates somebody, even though people, how do I put this? He really encapsulates somebody who has had to fight most of his life, and he really just needs to be able to rest for a while. But he doesn't know how because he's had to be the strong one for so long. And it's really relatable. Um, but also he's like the youngest, and it really shows. Even though he's so skillful and he's so capable of all these things, he's also like 22. And sometimes it really shows. Like sometimes I look at him and I'm like, honey, your age is really showing because you don't have the the years and the like you haven't learned these things and you don't have the wisdom of somebody older than you who has already been through this stuff. You know what? This is we're gonna play some Toontown now. we're gonna play some we're gonna play some Toontown now. I've had my yap for about a half hour ish. Anyway, I love the Stormlight archives. They're really good. They can be a little bit hard to get into. Um, if you start the Way of Kings and it seems like too much, I would, which is the first book in the Stormlight archives, I would instead read a related book, and it's called Warbreaker. Um, happens on a different planet because the Stormlight archives is multi-planetary. It's a whole universe. Um, But there's characters in it that show up in the Stormlight Archive books. So it's a good first read, and it's less complicated. Yeah. I don't have this set up, so it's less complicated of a read than The Way of Kings, because it only has a couple viewpoints, whereas The Way of Kings has so many. And it can be a lot. It can be a lot to take in at first. There's a little bit of an update since I played last. I'm not surprised. Well, it's been several weeks. Other book recommendations would also be the Locked Tomb series by Tamsin Muir. It starts with Gideon the Ninth. There is so much I love about that book series. I can't even. It is another. Technically, it's also sci-fi fantasy. Fantasy sci-fi. A lot of people will first describe it as lesbian necromancers in space to try and rope people in, which is not an entirely inaccurate description. But it is not like, it doesn't really encapsulate the whole thing. But I would recommend it. It's really good. It's also written by a Homestuck, which you can absolutely tell if you're an old Homestuck and you got like your radar on or other Homestucks. Oh yeah, it comes out in the writing. It really does. My friend loves Brandon Sand. Wait, really? Yes, really. And Locked Tomb so much she cosplayed Michelle. Shalon and Shalon and Harrowhawk, yes. Don't mind me, so we've been doing the audiobook, so I've never actually seen names written before. So often I have to, that for a second. But Shalon and Harrowhawk, good choices, really good choices. Yes, Locked Tomb is written by a Homestuck. You can absolutely tell when you're reading it. They're actually a fanfic writer. Like they were a Homestuck fanfic writer, and in fact, you can still find their fanfiction if you go looking. Should one desire. I don't know why I'm looking at this, because I know there's not gonna be anything here. Anyway, just gotta look at it to get the thing off. There we go. Okay, I don't know what we're getting up to today. Probably buildings, from the looks of things. Which is easy because, like, then I don't even have to, I can keep yapping. Easy peasy. I can do that in the background while I yap about my books. The Locked Tomb series will also hopefully be completed soon. We're just... Okay. One person's trading lure, and the two of us are doing trap. It's perfect. It's perfect. Anyway, yeah, man. There's just, how do I? Brandon writes really well-rounded characters who are flawed, but the main characters are like often always trying. They're developing. A lot of them are becoming better people. Some of them are becoming worse people, but most of them are becoming better people. And it's complicated and it's nuanced and there's stuff going on. The Locked Tomb, it's still nuanced, but like Hampson is specifically writing messy. You can do that. The username in fanfics is Urban I could pronounce that, but I'm just your reaction is really getting me. It's really sending me. It's very funny. Yes, I'm glad you're looking this up now and learning about this. You know, hilariously, hey bud, you know, I'm just like, I mean, sure, after me, but you said you're training lore. I'm so confused. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yes. I was gonna say one of my other favorite writers, well, the webcomic Kill 6 Billion Demons. Fantastic webcomic. Literally has one of my favorite arcs that gives me chills whenever I think about certain scenes. And fucking tastic. Absolutely phenomenal. If you like webcomics, please read Kill 6 Billion Demons. Is also an old Homestuck, and as a matter of fact, Kill 6 Billion Demons started on the MS Paint Adventure forums. Fun fact. Kill 6 Billion Demons sports one of my favorite trans arcs in any piece of fiction. One of my favorite trans characters. I love them so much. It just has so much, it has so much going for it. Going for a soul read. I'm guessing you're a fan of Elgunish. No, I don't know what that is. I will look it up right now. Nope, never read this. Nope. Never even heard of it. There's a lot of webcomics out there. Also, I don't have a tendency to read more strip-based ones. I can't, well, I'm also judging it based off of the first, like the comic first one. Maybe I shouldn't be. But I tend to read more like very strongly in their stories based ones more than anything else. I do read a lot of webcomics. If I had to list off my favorites off the top of my head, I'm also paying attention to game a little bit. I had to list some favorites. I really love, oh gosh, Daughter of the Lilies. Daughter of the Lilies that's by Meg Siv. That's one of my favorites. She hasn't been able to work on it recently because she often works as a storyboard artist, among other things, for Disney on and off. And Disney, when you're working as an animator for Disney, they have clauses that basically make it so, like, Meg can't legally work on her own webcomic while working under them without forfeiting her rights to the comic. It's so yeah. But that's the thing. Well, that's one of my favorites. It's lovely. It's really good. I love the face. Yeah. She, however, she worked on the Animaniacs reboot. She worked on the new Amazing Spider-Man TV series, the animated one that came out recently. She worked on that. She's very talented. She's very skilled. She's really cool. We love her. Gosh, I have so many. I love that got blocked for bullying. Butt Nuggets got blocked for bullying. That's ducking butt nuggets. It is. It is. Disney's like that, okay? Disney is buck wild. That's my best attempt to keep PG-17. Teenagers know what swears are. It's okay. Like, when saying that my chat is PG-17, I really just mean that I don't really want anybody making any sexual innuendos or jokes or behaving sexually. That's really it. That's all there is to that. Otherwise, it's chat. It's chill. Ooh, that's understandable and fair. Yeah. I don't think I actually have any kids in my audience. It really is more about my own personal comfort than it is anything else. Okay. There's a lot of overlap. There's some things, you know. It's a comfort thing and also like kind of a boundary thing, because sometimes if you have that kind of chat, people see that as an automatic okay to flirt with you, and I really don't want people flirting with me either. At least not in that way. Being like, you're cute! I'm like, yeah, I'm cute, that's fine. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Wing, wing. Do, 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 do. Oh gosh, other webcomics. I read so many webcomics. Hold on. Let me just pull this up. Wildlife is really good. We love our Disaster Man. Which Wildlife is a contemporary fantasy. I really enjoy contemporary fantasy, science fantasy. Those two are my biggest jams. Love that kind of stuff. Clown Cores is also another one. I love Clown Core. Which I'm getting distracted by the game. Well, I say distracted, but I'm supposed to be streaming the game. I'm just doing a lot of yapping, too. Clown Core is like, what if there were clowns as a subdivision for fighting crime, like on top of, like, big crimes, like supervillain type crimes. Like, they're like, kind of like superheroes, except they don't have superpowers, they just have tech and a lot of training. And these clowns basically fight like villains, like super villains and things. And there's more to it than that, but like that's the basic gist of it. It's a really good comic. Would highly recommend it. It is the funniest comic I read by far. The author has such a good sense of humor. It's made me laugh out loud so many times. Yeah. I can give everybody so many. You want webcomic or fanfic recommendations? Although most of the fanfiction I read, most of it is like you got that one? Okay. Most of it is Naruto or Mass Effect fanfiction. That's like the majority of what I read. A tiny bit of home stuff, but mostly for Marvis stuff. I really like Marvis Delato. Man. I have occasionally read Jujutsu Kaisen fanfiction, but most of that is 18 plus stuff. Like, that's the majority of what that fandom makes. Which, like, can be nice sometimes, but mostly it's not what I'm interested in. Yeah. Stuff and stuff. Getting some tune-up training in too. Nice. I don't get to like do that crazy often because at higher levels people really like to use unites quite a bit, which doesn't really give you the opportunity to train your higher level tune-up like at all. Good job. Do, 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 do. That got us all a lot. I'm going to have to think about what I want for myself when I start streaming again, because on one hand, I don't think I would mind people flirting, especially now I'm becoming more confident in myself. And on the other hand, my demisexual ass would definitely not want the heavy stuff. Very fair. It's just a boundary that I'm setting because I don't want... Listen, I know I'm cute, and I've already had to deal with weirdos here and there as it is, and I just really want to nip that in the bud. Like, I don't want to have to deal with it. Nobody wants to see me deal with it. Although it would really just be banning people. I don't have any problem with banning people. I could do that. Fair, yeah. Yeah. It's just easier to nip it in the bud. It is. Oh, we can go turn these in. Wonderful. The Berg and Acorn Acres. Thanks for the sip. Boundaries early and clearly is super important. Yes. Yes. I don't... Yep. Take your meds, everybody. Have I taken my meds yet today? Hold on. Let me count. My meds is literally just my birth control. So, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday. Yes, I did. I did take my meds. Yay, me. But yeah, luckily... Oh, wait, I don't need to go here. I need to go here. Oddly enough, being a cashier for like 5 years collectively did prepare me to a certain extent to dealing with like public. Because if you're a cashier for long enough, you really learn... One of the first things you need to learn about being a cashier is to give solid yes or no answers all the time. Or if you really don't know, to be like, I can find out. But generally, solid yes or no answers. no like half answers, no maybes, no, just like clear, concise answers. And that's helped a lot. Also, if I get real weirdos, I'm like, we're dick butts. I've dealt with a lot of different kinds of people over the years. Customer service is no joke. It prepares you for a lot. Yeah. And by the end of my run as being a cashier, I kind of perfected the unimpressed apathy of somebody who had been at it a while. Whenever we got a bad customer in at that point, I was just like, okay, what is it this time? Hey. That one will happen eventually. We can take that one. Pittsburgh! Interesting run for me, though, because the first place I started working as a cashier, it was my first ever job. It was at a dollar store, and the customers at that place were not good. I got screamed at, like, literally every week by customers. It was really bad. I think that was the time period where I had the most breakdowns in my life. Like, well, meltdowns. I should say meltdowns. They weren't breakdowns. They were meltdowns. And that was really rough. But, Twitch needs a streamer button to turn on a flashing cashier light to summon Twitch support. That's funny. Executive Skelecogs and Cashbot HQ? I don't think so. I can do this one. We have CEO and CFO. Those aren't what I need. I'm not doing Witch Hunter. I don't need Pre-Thinker. Boo. I mean, I could just go and make a group of the VP, I guess. To the Cellbot HQ! Been here, out here in person in so long. Going through. First job was at a museum, an amusement park in customer service, and surprisingly, I did not get that many bad guests, despite there being so many out-of-state people. I think it really depends on the environment. There are certain things that people are more respectful about than other things. I'm working at a dollar store, and then I also worked at a gas station ice cream parlor. Here, there's just people who don't respect you that come in. Like, they don't respect your job, they don't respect what you do, even though that they're using your work to sustain themselves, Then again, I was not the position of, I'm here if you want to talk to somebody to fix a bad experience. I was the position of, I'm here to sell your tickets and scan them. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. That's tickets here. That's a pretty straightforward one. I can say with certainty, worst customers I've ever had are coupon scammers. Coupon scammers are awful. For those who don't know, it's at dollar stores, especially like Dollar General, which is where I worked. Coupons count as cash technically. And there were ways for people to, if you weren't paying enough attention, they could print out a whole bunch of coupons, and then the store would end up owing money because the coupons could work on items they weren't supposed to. You really had to read the print. And the store would lose out money, which, like, obviously you're not supposed to do if you're doing your job. But these people would scream at you if you're like, hey, I can't take these coupons for this item. They would scream at you. Horrible people. I remember just trying to try us for a couple $100 in cash back for their rent money at 1 a.m. Well, yeah, I am so glad I worked at locations that didn't do cash back. The gas station and ice cream parlor I worked at did do cashier's checks, but we didn't do like cashback stuff. There was an ATM in the place, but we didn't technically own it. It was the bank's. So like if anything went wrong with it, they had to contact the bank. We couldn't do anything for them, which did come up a couple times. People were very irate about it, and I'm like, listen, it's not our property, it's not our money. You can't get mad at me about it. Second worst, honestly, gas customers. People coming in for gas, some of those people can be the actual worst customers. I don't know why. They could be so bad. They get so mad at you over the smallest things. Truly. I had one guy who was like a regular who would gripe during winter every time the receipt machines outside didn't work. And I'm like, of course they don't work. They break in winter because they're machines and they don't like the cold. Yeah, we'd have to fix those like once a day usually in winter. Like, it would constantly be unjamming them because they just would get hecked up. But this guy just didn't want to hear it. Yeah, I don't remember most of the really bad ones. I sort of remember them all generally. I remember a lot of the really good people. That's what I remember, which is nice. You know, it's a lot nicer to hold on to the good customers, you know? Oh, shout out to the one guy that was a regular for me, both at the dollar store that I worked at and at this like gas station ice cream parlor place, who was, I really appreciated him at Dollar General because he was always just like a really down to earth kind of guy, and just very relaxed and just like didn't fuss, wasn't a fussy guy, just really chill, nice to talk to. Did have a kind of depressing response whenever you asked him how he was, though. Which, I kid you not, years running, waiting on death. If you asked him how he doing, that's how he always responded. Every time. Yeah. He was a nice guy, though. He was a nice guy. He stood up for me a couple times against like bad customers. Like, and I love it whenever customers call out bad behavior. Truly, I do appreciate, like, as a cashier, I'm like, hell yeah, shame them. Publicly shame this person. Thank you. I can't technically do it. I'm not technically allowed. Although I don't know at this point that would stop me if I had to work a customer-facing job again, unless my like manager didn't have my back. Yeah. I don't have the patience anymore. Especially after working factory, I'm just like, no. People fuss over the smallest things. I don't got time. I got real problems. Thank you. Ooh, that's enough retail ranting, though. It's more than enough. But I do remember the good ones quite well. We had a lot of really nice ones, especially being at the gas station ice cream parlor side. There were regulars who'd get ice cream every week, and a lot of them were super nice people. Of course, there's also generally something about making ice cream. Sometimes you get bad customers, but most of the time, making ice cream for people is just all smiles. Like, most of the time, you just have people who really appreciate you, especially if you make really good shakes or really good banana splits like I did. I'm I'm an ace at all my jobs. And I don't feel bad for saying that because all the places I ever worked begged me not to leave. Literally. But you just get a lot of smiles making ice cream, and it's nice. See, I feel that. Had a guy chew me out once, but the lady behind him apologized on his behalf and went to explain to the manager that what went down. Aw, that's nice. Yeah. I have finished my tea. Looks like we're getting there on this group, too. You can't see it like crazy well because my balloons are in the way a little bit. But for these types, the elevator's so big because it's usually 8 toons that do these boss fights. 8 whole toons. Yeah. I have five years of retail experience and 3 years of factory work, I believe. Thank you for the posture check. I'm doing great today, but that posture check goes out to everybody else too. It's actually really funny, right? It's really easy to remember to have good posture when you have a repetitive stress injury that reminds you almost immediately if you have bad posture. Oh man, I said that. God, I said that at the LGBTQ meetup that we went to locally on Monday. I said that, and one of the people there was just like, I think I would rather not have the repetitive stress injury. And I'm like, you're right, but I gotta laugh about it sometimes. I gotta have my little jokes. Have my little jokes. I adore the clown face in the cog font so much. It's so cute. He's just a little guy. Look at all these. I forgot that I'm a Mr. Hollywood now. Started at the bottom. Now we're here. I don't know what the max level is. It doesn't really matter to me because it's probably 50. Because I'm not planning on maxing this out. I'm not a maxer when it comes to playing Toontown. I just kind of vibe. Obviously I am working on all of my gags and stuff. But I'm not out here. Man, I've had the defeat the directors Toon task for over a month now. I'm not out here trying to do everything in the game or max out my laugh or anything like that. I'm just vibing. we just vibing. At some point, I'll kind of be done when I'm done with the kudos quest lines and stuff. Depending on what everybody wants when I get to that point, if the next update for Corporate Clash hasn't come out by then, because if the 2.0 update comes out, which is the character overhaul, character creation, the toon model overhaul update, if that doesn't come out by then I might start playing Rewritten, depending on what people would like me to do. We'll see. It's a big maybe. It's a big maybe. We got an ad coming up from the looks of it. I snoozed it once, but I can only snooze it so many times. On the elevator. Oop, almost yawned. That was close. I don't know what else I'm getting done today. I got my mirror up. And my mirror actually survived transport and everything. I patted it really well. I basically sandwiched it with bubble wrap in between some cardboard and stuff. And it arrived quite well. I do need to clean it still. Which I need to look and see if there's any kind of Windex in this house. I don't know. But I got my mirror up. It is a 4 foot tall and 2 and some change wide. Maybe 3. It's not quite the width isn't even to anything, but it is exactly 4 foot tall. It's a really nice mirror. I got it for free. And I'm happy it's up. I like having a mirror. I like having what is essentially a full body mirror. I might slowly work on my room, but I'm not sure because I really want to get the kitchen in order, which it's getting there. But getting my room, like doing little things in my room will also make me happy. Which is why I put the mirror up yesterday with help. Kind of a 2-person job at one point. But yeah. Into the elevator! Do. Here's the ad. I would say I could pause the game, but, like, it's Toontown. I've seen these fights before. Toontown is just a mechanism for me to yap. That's it. That's all it is. Oh gosh, a big head. You got zap? You got zap. You got zap. Zap. You're a little squirt though. There we go. Thank you. Wonderful. I don't know if that's going to be enough damage. Like, might be a little bit short, but it's fine. Zuzu! There you go. Oh, Zuzu has a fun look. I like the color coordination. That's cute. I don't have those glasses yet. I've been trying to get them. That's from a street boss. I've been trying, but it hasn't happened yet. The drops for, like, bosses are pretty low chance drops, so, you know, what else is new? Yeah, this is a good opportunity to do sound. That's over. Mostly I was just talking about Toontown. Do. For anybody who may have missed. Wow. Look at all these guys. I want to trap you. Man, I love Prestige Trap. It does so much damage. It does so much damage, especially against execs. It's crazy. I don't even have this level maxed out yet. Get him. Nice. Oh. Yeah, room-wise, I got a few things I still want to do, but I'm happy to have my mirror up. That's really nice. I have clothes that I haven't gotten out yet. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, we could do sound again. I don't get points for sound, but it's okay. It's okay. I know who we're going to be raiding into when we get there. Because the desk agent started his subathon today. And he should already be streaming. So, when we get there... Does always have yellow stripes? Was that a thing? Did I just miss them? Completely overlook them? Or is that new? I don't remember there being, because the yellow stripes are so colorful. I don't remember them being here. Say hi to the building. I love that the buildings are also cogs with, like, faces. Don't know what they think about all day. It must get really boring. Unless they're talking to each other, you know? Which could be possible. I don't know. I don't know how they'd be doing that, though. Maybe they're playing telephone? It'd be so loud. They really don't have... What do you do all day, buddy? Besides stand here, you know? And watch us beat up the senior VP constantly. Who knows? I truly have not changed out of this outfit since I got this hat. I used to change my outfits constantly, and now I'm like, but this outfit is perfect. No notes. The clown hat is so cute. Here we go again. Yes. We will likely be wrapping up stream after this boss fight. I'm pretty low energy today, even though I'm doing my best. So I don't want to run for too long. I don't want to push it, you know? But it's been very nice streaming for everybody again. Truly. It's made me very happy. To the oubliettes. Well, one of them is going to an oubliette. The other one will come back from the sky. Flip. At least I had a really good breakfast. I cooked some chicken breast. Took like half a chicken breast, then sliced it again so it's thinner, and then used a tenderizer on it and spiced it. Yeah, it was very tasty, and I cooked. Oh, boo. I cooked a bunch of cauliflower in the like remnant fat and water and spices and stuff from the chicken. Very tasty. It's very tasty. Time for a heal. Yippee! I love getting a heal in. I might need a nap today. But I'll probably take one much later rather than after stream because it's still cool out right now, and like now's the best time to get work done. So you're not sweating. Or so I'm not sweating. It's been interesting living in a house that has no AC during this heat wave. It's been very interesting. I thought I would give Dart the opportunity to zap instead of me. Dart's been a real one in doing the squirt the whole time, which is very helpful. But you know, they probably need zap training too. They only have 68 left. Ding! Yay, more tune-up training. I wouldn't sound with this anyway, because 221 means we couldn't do enough damage besides. You know? Oh, honey. We've got crossed wires here. There we go. More heals! Hee. I can't juggle in real life. I've tried it here and there, but you really gotta practice, like, regularly to actually get it down. I can, however, balance things on the tip of my finger. That's actually pretty easy, though. Actually pretty easy. The heavier the object, the easier it is. The lighter the lighter the object is, the harder it is. Yeah. So like if you want to practice outside, but you could get like a broom. Brooms are pretty easy, especially if it's a nice like thick-headed broom and not one of the light ones. Like a broom with a wooden handle and like the straw instead of the other fiber for the head. That is a great balancing practice tool. You want to start, rather than your fingers, you want to start it on like the middle of your palm. That's the best place to practice that to begin with. And then you can slowly move to your fingers. You can try different fingers too. Obviously, pinky's gonna be the hardest. I don't remember what my buttons are for this. That's the straight, that's the, okay. Wonderful. Oop. Do 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 do. Man, we got people who are on it today. I jumped too early. That's okay. Not that time. I can hear the trapdoor open a lot of it, like his back. I can hear it when it opens. Sometimes I try to start throwing as soon as possible. Do, 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 do. If I can hear it anyway. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Hehe, I'm running. Almost there. There you go. Goodbye again. It tickles me every time. Good job. You're really close to the next level of Zap. That's pretty cool. Why are you so big? Oh, that's the giant green, right? Do, 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 do. Here we go. We got a little bit done. We got a building. PP. That's not so bad. Let me fill up my gags. And we're gonna wrap up for the day. Like I said, I already know who we're gonna be raiding into, so that's easy. Do, 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 do. Alrighty. Thanks for coming to the show, everybody. If you like the show, come back for more. I stream Monday through Thursday. We have fun here in the tent. I don't really have any announcements. I do have a collab with Covey coming up next week. I think we did pick a time, but I'll be posting that on the schedule anyway, so that's no worries. Sometime this month, like I was saying, I would like to do another house browse stream. That's basically where we look at houses that are for sale, like interesting, weird, sometimes threatening aura houses on like Zillow and other such places. And that's super fun. It's basically just a just chatting stream, and I like to have a full house for that. I suspect it's still going to be hot for most of the month, so that will be an early morning stream. I'll have to see. I'm going to go around, hopefully by Friday, Saturday, I'm going to go around to people and see who's going to be available and all of that jazz and get a date hammered out for the end of the month. I prefer to plan those ones ahead of time. But other than that, I don't really got a whole lot going on. Tomorrow we're going to be playing a little bit of Epic Mickey Rebrushed. And that's going to be it for the week. It's been so much fun. And it's been so wonderful being back and talking to everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. So I'll see everybody tomorrow. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I hope you have a great day and a better week. And remember to stay silly out there, okay? Catch you later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.